Hi, I'm Bill Patrick. The program you're about to see is part of a vintage series called Car and Track, which was originally produced during the first half of the 1970s. Before we begin the show, though, a brief program note. Using as many as 8 cameras to shoot a single event, Car and Track captured some of the great NASCAR competitions of the era, one race at a time. Over the course of some 80 episodes through 6 seasons, series producer and host Bud Lindeman lovingly documented a unique era in American motor racing. While the race action contained in the series remains timeless, the program itself has not dated quite so gracefully. Although the years have not been overly kind to Bud's decidedly low-key introductions and interviews, we believe them to be an integral part of this one-of-a-kind series. So please, stay with us now as Speed Vision presents a rare slice of 1970s Americana, Car and Track.
Hi there. On this show, Car and Track takes a vacation. For the most part, our spring and summer months are spent on the oval tracks and drag strips across the nation. Motorsports have become a favorite pastime of ours. But there are a variety of motorsports, many participated in by those who have never been on any type racetrack, to say nothing of the millions who have become a part of the endless chain of weekend wanderers. So today, we want to join the throngs whom we call fun seekers. To them, we dedicate this show. And we'll be ready to go in 60 seconds. For those who don't participate on oval tracks, drag strips, or road courses, there is yet another type of racing, the off-road variety. It's loaded with fun, but it's rough. Many use production-type vehicles. Others build their own. They put these steel-clad monsters on trailers and tow them hundreds of miles to get to the playground. Then unload them, crank them up, and they have a ball. We filmed it, set it to music, and it looks a little like this. keeping with this recreational vehicle type show, our road test of the week is a Jeep, and a CJ5 nonetheless. This granddaddy of off-road vehicles is a favorite of many of the participants. It's tough and bred from a long line of rough terrain four-wheel drivers. The Jeep derived its name from World War II as a general purpose vehicle, the leader in its field. Well, since that time, it's developed many competitors. Today, there's a host of four-wheel drive billy goats, all vying for the top spot. And the Jeep, well, it's still in there, swinging. CJ5 stands for Civilian Jeep, and AMC has revamped it from top to bottom. Just about everything is new. Power, styling, steering, axles, U-joints, and gearboxes. Starting off with power, our tester was equipped with a top-of-the-line 304 cubic inch V8 fed by a two-barrel carburetor. This engine was essential to keep the Jeep competitive, although with it, fuel economy fell off to around 11 miles to a gallon. The more powerful engines were united with a new floor-mounted 3-speed synchro manual transmission. A larger clutch plate makes engagement very positive. However, the clutch pedal was far too stiff. You can get a weary left leg in heavy downtown traffic situations. Another big change in the powertrain features the Dana 20 transfer case. It makes shifting in and out of four-wheel drive comparatively simple, especially when equipped with the locking front hubs as ours was. With the V8 engine option, the CJ5 comes with power-assisted larger drum brakes. The pedal is very touchy, but nonetheless, it stops you right now. The Dana case provides a new low-range ratio of 2.03 to 1. And as you can see, on glare ice, it grabbed hold in a very positive manner. There was no comparison in traction when we popped it into two-wheel drive. It was virtually impossible to negotiate the ice in this mode. Let there be no doubt in your mind as to whether or not four-wheel drive makes a difference. It even handled the frozen water well in four-wheel high. Snow and mud gave us no problem whatsoever. Suspension remains about the same as former Jeeps, except that the front end has been beefed up to handle the heavier weight of the larger engine. Jumping seemed to be a whole lot easier on the vehicle than it was on the occupants. I felt that it could do this sort of thing all day long if this type of travel turns you on. By the same token, a suspension this stiff also makes for a rough ride, even on the expressway. The original intention of the military Jeep was an all-purpose vehicle built to be as light and small as possible. American Motors has changed that to some extent. In addition to the increased front and rear tracks that make the Jeep wider, AMC has lengthened the 6 cross-member frame and increased the wheelbase to 84 inches. This longer wheelbase could be partially responsible for making the ride over rough terrain a little more bearable. Along the same vein, we might mention that the new seats are a great deal more comfortable. There are many factors in the negative column. It starts with getting in and out, especially if there's a top on it. The vinyl top flaps. The metal cab rattles so bad you think you're on the inside of a snare drum. Tire noise emanating through the steel floor panels is excessive, to say the least. And those same floor panels get so hot that insulated boots become a necessity to avoid burning your feet. Passenger room is at a minimum. Plus, the noise from the engine is guaranteed to drown out anything you might pick up on the optional radio. And I won't even get into the riding characteristics. But all these things are synonymous with a Jeep. To many, they spell charm. You put up with all these inconveniences to enjoy your off-road experiences to the fullest. Once a year, the top off-road racers in the country head for the state of Nevada to a thing called the Mint 400. Casino owner Del Webb is the instigator of the Mint, and it's one of the roughest, toughest, bone-jarring, tooth-rattling races in the country. The entries pour in from almost every state in the union for this run across the desert. Some for the money, some for the sheer love of competition. But for the most part, they come for the fun of it. It looks like this. Dawn finds us about 20 miles outside of Las Vegas in the Nevada desert. Parnelli Jones is favored to win this 6th annual running of the Mint 400. A once famous driver, Parnelli now races only in off-road events. And in a couple of minutes, you'll wonder why. As the sun climbs up over the edge of the desert floor, the vehicles move out of the impound area and begin to form at the start line. Over 300 are entered in 7 different classes. They start 2 at a time at 30-second intervals. With the race about to get underway, storm clouds gather. But regardless of the weather, they run. When the green flag drops, is a flat-out drag because not far down the road, the 2 starting lanes merge into one. Needless to say, a tie at this point can cause all sorts of problems. The course is 200 miles long. 2 laps constitute the entire 400-mile race, and every mile is a nightmare. Watch this. Whew! Some of these boys must be rodeo riders. It's a cinch that no driver ever fell asleep in the Mint 400. Here comes Rod Hall in the number 11 Bronco, flying through the first checkpoint. Number 225, the Hacienda Hustler, stages at the start line. Hotel owner Terry Brown is the driver. On the green flag, Terry beats his opponent to the 1-lane road. Here's Larry Becker bringing his VW buggy through the checkpoint, minus a left front wheel. It doesn't stop him, but it sure makes the turns interesting. We took to the air to follow this buggy. He's running at least 75 miles an hour on a road where 25 would be considered maximum. The storm clouds that were threatening finally began to drop water. In an hour and a half, the entire field was off and running. Some of the earlier starters are pouring through the first checkpoint. Here's another VW 2-seater, this one driven by Doug Jones. On this corner, the traffic gets thick. So does the dust. '56 Mike Gone rattles his molars on this one. Here, number 37 tries out his wings. On this turn, a smart driver keeps his mouth shut. We went back to the air to follow this chase. It was cleaner and safer. There goes the 109 Bronco, driven by Parnelli Jones. These two boys just missed each other and the photographer. Just being able to see in this blinding dust is some sort of a miracle. The course begins to take its toll now as more wheels begin to separate from the cars. Here's a whole bevy of dust eaters. Can you imagine 400 miles of this kind of punishment to the man as well as the machine? In the afternoon, we received the word that Parnelli Jones, driving his Bronco, has passed everyone who started in front of him and is leading the entire field by over an hour. There goes another wheel, this time on number 171. Even with the left front gone, he stands on it. These guys just don't know how to quit. Some entries, like this one, get off the course and end up taking to the weeds and cactus. The winner just before dark was Parnelli Jones. But even darkness didn't stop them. These boys were still coming in at 3 in the morning. Wet, cold, dirty, tired, and loaded with the experience of a lifetime. Weekend warriors or vacation vagabonds are the folks who fall in the other end of the motorsporting spectrum. They pay thousands of dollars for their private world of transportation, their escape to Shangri-La. They drive, eat, sleep, and live in it. Motorhomes are fast becoming the most popular getaway machines in America. The popularity of motorhomes is increasing at an unbelievable rate, to such a degree that the manufacturer's chief concern is where and how fast they can build new plants. These leave-it-all-behind machines come in a wide range of prices from high to higher, the cost being determined for the most part by the size and luxuriousness of the unit. This one is a 24-foot Coachman that falls in the $10,000 to $12,000 range. And as you can see, it has all the aerodynamics of a brick because creature comforts take priority. The driver's area is great. Comfortable seating and plenty of room, with a dashboard having enough gauges to keep the driver occupied in any kind of a cross-country safari. With convenient access to the kitchen. Mom might be happy here. She'll find most of the appliances she has at home, however, on a mini basis. The lavatory is brief but complete and is large enough for one, preferably thin, adult. Should an unexpected guest pop out of the woods, just pull down the bulkhead and he can wedge himself into bed and spend the night. But make sure he's not a restless sleeper. A few of the options include air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, a 110-volt generator that makes it completely self-contained, and just about anything else you want to increase your payments with. Our Coachman was built on a Dodge truck chassis with a complete Mopar drivetrain. Our top speed was about 75 miles an hour. However, at this speed, the vehicle is highly susceptible to crosswinds. Plus, handling qualities are extremely poor. Neither the suspension system nor chassis was designed to carry a cottage at highway speeds. We felt far more secure parked in the woods by a creek. Here, we found it to be the ultimate form of camping. In case the price tag on the Coachman bothers you, this Champion might have a little more appeal. It's available in the $7,000 to $9,000 range. But like most of the others, little attention has been given to styling or exterior eye appeal. Driving cockpit again, excellent. With a bucket seat you might enjoy in your living room. Kitchen area, quite complete. Dining in the rear. We found the overall quality on the interior of this unit to be inferior as compared to some of the others we tested. But then, too, the price was considerably less. In performance, we rated the Champion above many of the others. Braking in panic stop situations was excellent. However, you don't want to try this while the family's having dinner or with a cupboard full of dishes. It shared one thing in common with all the other vehicles we tested: bad cornering qualities. These things are top-heavy and could be dangerous in some driving situations. Before taking it out on a cruise, a complete revamping of your mental attitude is necessary. While we had these vehicles, a thought occurred to us that without a bike or some other form of transportation aboard, you might have to batten down the hatches and leave the campsite every time you want to make a run into town or some other nearby location. At any rate, pondering the purchase plus weighing the good and bad features could occupy the average family over many a long winter night. Regardless of whether you live in it, work in it, or play in it, motorhomes are fun. And just another way to grab a piece of America. Well, that wraps it up. Hope you enjoyed our car and track vacation. It was something different. But then, so is motorsporting. And we try to cover it all. We'll be back next week with full-bore, flat-out, belly-down racing. Till then, remember, driving is such an enjoyable privilege. Don't lose it. Play it cool. And bye-bye.